G'day and welcome. Okay, today's show is just going to be a bit of a wrap up as to what went down yesterday and what things are looking like moving forward. So obviously it was a huge event, months in the making. Like I've been in discussion with the guys from Equity Lawyers since May this year, and only a very small group of people in Australia knew about this, the legal team has done a great job putting together all the different papers that made up the case. It's gone to the High Court, and it was a little bit nail-biting yesterday, can I just say. The legal team submitted to the registry at the High Court of Australia at 9 a.m. I believe, or even 8 a.m. One of those two times. You get the idea. And typically the process whenever you lodge papers with courts is that you get an answer pretty quickly as to yes, accepted, and you move on. And so we had to get that okay before the lawyers could then serve the Victorian government with its papers saying you need to defend this case. And I was ready to go. Realistically, I was actually ready to go at 2 a.m. on Thursday night with the video that you've all seen now. And oh my gosh, I had troubles with that video. My gosh, it was not, it rendered fine. I could play on the computer, but YouTube was having an issue with it and I couldn't actually change the thumbnail. It couldn't save in YouTube. So I woke up early after not even 4 hours sleep, and I reshot it and I reposted it. And oh my gosh, that's a bit of behind the scenes for you. Anyway, so it wasn't until 3:30 in the afternoon that we finally got confirmation that the papers had been accepted by the High Court of Australia and the Victorian government was served. Yes, fantastic. Then it was go, and the media team then released a press release to all the media outlets, and there were some who were on embargo. So I actually did 3 interviews on the day before, and then on yesterday I did another 2 interviews, and in about an hour from now I'm doing a live segment on ABC News. So yeah, it's going to be a fascinating just next few days. And then typically what it looks like is that when this gets submitted, you get a lot of media attention and it dies down, and then when the actual hearing occurs, when the outcome is there rather, that's when we know that's when the media will come back in, be it positive or negative. So yeah, I'll speak more about that. But nonetheless, the coverage by media, basically print media here and web-based, has been pretty good, overall positive. I wouldn't say there's been any negatives whatsoever. It's great that we've seen all these different papers and media outlets and syndicated ones put this story out there. For me, I've got to do now a interview with Robert Llewellyn from Fully Charged. I'll be doing that on the Fully Charged Plus show. That's like the podcast companion version of Fully Charged, the main channel. And also, I'll be shooting today a Now You Know 2-minute segment for the guys, Zach and Jesse, for release on Tuesday next week for, that greater audience that they have. So really, really thankful that I've got some very supportive people out there, yourself included. My patrons, I really do appreciate everything that you all do. The comments on the video and on forums that I've seen are very supportive, with many people like 144, more than $13,000 I think it is, raised so far to help cover the legal costs. Thank you so much for doing that. And if you can, I've left a link down below. Please do contribute if you can. It'd be really appreciated. There's obviously been some saying that we should pay for roads, and I've replied to only a few of those people. Just watch the video. The line is this: fuel excise is a tax on fuel that people pay when they fill up at the Bowser. It hasn't paid for roads since the 1950s. End of story. Okay. I don't like doing the analogy of, hey, do you smoke? Okay, if you don't smoke, then do you pay nicotine tax, cigarette tax, whatever it's called? No, you don't, nor should you. So obviously then in comments. Bit of an awkward segue that, but I'll keep going. There was some people in the comments whereby they would like to contribute, they'd like to chip in, please do, but they were just a bit wary about the legal arguments. And for this, all I can say to you is, and reassure you, is that look, we are in this to win, and we'll do everything we can to win. We've got like a very talented legal team. We've got Ron Merkel, he's Queen's Counsel, and he was actually a federal court judge. We've got Tom Wood, a talented junior barrister with like government experience, and the team of Equity Generation lawyers. They've represented in the Sharma case, where they were successful earlier this year, finding the federal environment minister liable for any actions. She has a duty of care. Use the right words here, Chris. To those students, who were successful in that case. They're appealing it, by the way. But nonetheless, Equity Generation lawyers have been very successful at this climate legal law stuff. And I really can't talk to the particulars of this matter because, again, I'm not a lawyer, and that's for the legal team to actually do in the High Court. All I can say is that yes, we're going to be arguing that this is unconstitutional. It looks at Section 90 in the Constitution, and that's around consumption, and that is a state can't actually tax you on something. Okay, and so some great comments there yesterday about, well, last year, or this was since some people already paid their rego fees, like high ash. And for that time that they did those kilometres, they were actually interstate, and none of it was on Victorian roads. So again, Tim Pallas actually said that this was supposed to be paying for roads, but my understanding is it's actually going to consolidated revenue in Victoria as well. And so if you're paying tax in Victoria supposedly for Victorian roads, how do you then say that this is a fair and just tax when you might be living interstate for 6 months of the year and not using Victorian roads? Anyway, so next up, what's it going to look like? Media tension will die down very quickly. This will be a thing in the back of people's brains by probably tomorrow. But nonetheless, I'll keep going, I'll keep talking about it. The Victorian government and the High Court, I believe they have 2 to 3 weeks, I'm not quite clear on this, where they will have to actually set a date to have this heard. It's anticipated it's going to take 2 days of hearing, and again, it's all about that legal argument around the Constitution. I would like it to be sooner than later. But conversely, because of lockdowns right now, I actually want to go attend this. I'd like to be there and hear it, and to see this legal process in action, because we've all heard High Court judgments being handed down, and we just think, yeah, great, tick, that's awesome. But I'd like to actually, be present for this and see how that all turns out. So in the meantime, I really do seriously appreciate if you are keeping a track of this and watching what's happening. Do subscribe, because I will keep you updated as best possible, and when something happens, I'll bring it to you here. And otherwise, look, you could be good and you be great.